Okay guys, here we are looking at example 6. All right, we're going to define a triangle by 3 vertices. We have it drawn for us. Okay, A is here, B is in quadrant 1, and C is in quadrant 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you have a definition of median, right? A line segment that joins a vertex of the triangle to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, so it will go from one of the vertices to the midpoint of the other side. Okay? That's just a definition of what a median is. We're asked to find the equation line that contains the median of the triangle from the point B. Okay, so what we want to do is start at B, and we want to go across to side AC, and we want to find the midpoint, right? Because the median has to go to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, so the coordinates of this, because we need that point, the coordinates of that are going to be the averages or the midpoint of A and C. Okay, so it's going to be, we're going to take the average of the x values, so -5 and -3. So that's going to end up being -4, right? And then we take the average of the y values. So we take 2 minus 4 divided by 2. So 2 minus 4 divided by 2. Okay, so that's going to be -4 and then -1. So that's right there. You can draw a little bit more accurately now. Yeah, give you guys some time to write too. Okay, now, now the slope that we want, right, is the slope of this line, because we want an equation of that line. So we have the point M, and we have the coordinates of B. Okay, so we just have to find the slope of that. So again, our point is the midpoint. It's -4, -1. Okay, and the slope is going to be, well, it's the change in the y's over the change in the x's. And so if we look, we're going from -1 minus 3. So -1 minus 3, -1 minus 3. And then for the x's, it's -4 minus 2. -4 minus 2. So this is -4 over -6, which is 2/3. 2. Oh, I hate when I click the pencil. 2/3. And we could even maybe check that up 1, up 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so the equation, and you guys know I like this form. Point slope, this is the best form. So we have y plus 1 equals 2/3 x plus 4. Okay, how did I get that? So y1, x1, that's -4, -1. And if we're subtracting negatives, they become positive, right? So we take y minus the y coordinate, y plus 1. 2/3 was the slope that we got, times x minus -4. Done. Okay. Now, altitude of a triangle is a line segment to a vertex and a perpendicular to a line containing the side opposite the vertex. Okay, so through a vertex, perpendicular to a line containing the side opposite the vertex. Okay, so it goes, let's draw one. So it goes, for example, let's go from C. Okay, so the altitude for C it's going to go the opposite side, but now it's not going to go to a midpoint. It's got to basically make a right angle with that opposite side. Okay, so it creates a right angle. Find the equation of the line containing the altitude of the triangle that passes through the point A. Okay, so that means that we want to go, I'm going to erase this red, from A to the opposite side. Okay, so we want to go from A, and we want to drop basically at a 90-degree angle. And then that's going to be the altitude. Okay, so if you notice, guys, it's got the negative reciprocal slope, right? If we can find the slope of BC, the slope of this will be the negative reciprocal. And then the point that it goes to is actually A. Okay, so so the point is A, which is negative 5, 2. And the slope that we need is going to be perpendicular to BC. Okay, so let's find the slope of line BC. Okay, so I'm going to write up here. So the slope of BC, well, we're going to take 3 minus negative 4. 3 plus 4, and then we're going to divide by 2 minus negative 3. So we get 7 over 5. Okay? If we want the slope perpendicular to that, so the slope of BC was 7 over 5. Slope perpendicular to BC is going to be negative 5 over 7, right? So we take that, right? This slope was positive 7 over 5. That means this slope is negative 5 over 7 because that's what we learned last time about perpendicular lines. Okay, so now we've got enough to do the equation. Y minus, what is it, guys? Y minus 2 equals negative 5 over 7 times x plus 5. And then the perpendicular bisector, part C, the perpendicular bisector of the side AB. Whew, okay, so perpendicular bisector means it goes right through the middle and it's perpendicular to it. Okay, so we need the midpoint of AB and we need the slope of AB. And let's do this up here while we can see everything. So what's the slope of AB? Well, change in y is 2 minus negative 4, so 2 plus 4. And then 5 minus negative 3, sorry, negative 5 plus 3, negative 5 plus 3. Six over negative 2, which is negative 3. Why does that not look right, guys? Oh my God, because I'm going to AC. You guys probably laughing about that. All right, let's replace the numbers with the correct point. Wow. Mr. Property's getting tired, guys. Sorry. Okay, so making some dumb mistakes here. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Okay, so I should probably erase this too because we don't know that we're adding. So we've got 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. And then we have negative 5 minus 2, which is negative 7. So the slope of AB is negative 7. 1 over 7. I think it's negative 7. And the midpoint, capital M of AB, well, I'm just going to maybe do this in my head. So halfway between negative 5 and 2, well, that's Adam, we get negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 3 over 2. So the x-coordinate is negative 3 over 2 for the midpoint. And then 2 plus 3 is 5, divided by 2 is 5 over 2. Okay, so we've got our point. Remember, we have to take the negative reciprocal of this because we want a negative line, okay? So that's gonna be the negative reciprocal of this is gonna be negative 7. Okay, so y minus something equals negative 7 times x minus something, and that something, the points where y is 5 over 2, so we've got y minus 5 over 2, and then x plus 3 over 2. Okay. One more problem, guys. Okay, and a word problem. One more problem. Let's read it. A candle that is initially 30 centimeters tall is lit at 3 p.m. Okay, so starting height, starting time. The candle burns at a constant rate so its height decreases until fully burnt out 6 hours later. So that's going to be at 9 p.m. A graph of the candle's height is shown below where T represents the number of hours since 3 p.m. Okay, so number of hours since 3 p.m. Explain why the graph of the candle's height has only been drawn in the first quadrant. Can you guys answer that? We can't have a negative time, right? And we can't have a negative height. So no negative time, or I was writing off the page. I'm definitely getting tired. Done. Find the equation of the candle's height as a function of time since 3 o'clock where T is from 0 to 6. Okay. So we can use any point. I guess I'll do it here. Okay, so let's use the point 0, 30. So that means y minus 30 equals something times x minus 0. Okay, and what's that something? That's the slope. Well, if you think about it, we're going down 30, so negative 30, right 6, okay? The slope is negative 30 over 6, but that's really the same thing as negative 5. So there's our equation. Easy. Y minus 30 equals 5, negative 5, x minus 0. Just leave it like that. Check. Another candle that is 10 centimeters tall is lit at 5. That candle's height decreases slower than the first, so it's fully burnt out at 11. So it's 10 centimeters tall. 5 o'clock it's lit. And it burns out at 11, which is 6 hours later. Why are the points 210 and 80 on the line? So 210 is here, and 80 is here. Two hours later, right? 10 centimeters tall. And from 5 to 11 is 6 hours, right? So this is at 2, so it's 5 p.m. 6 hours later, it goes to 0. So hopefully you were thinking that same kind of thing. Draw the second candle's height function on the above set of axes and find the equation of the candle's height, H2. Okay, so basically we want to connect these straight lines, but we have to restrict our domain, right? The domain is going to only be from 2 to 6. Okay, so I'm going to, in black, I think, right? Oh, no, I'll write it in blue too. Okay, so for part D, well, I'm going to use the point 210. So that means y minus 10 equals something times x minus 2. And let's put the domain restriction, right? Only for x being 2 to 8. So what's the slope here? Well, we're going down 10 over 6. So the slope of this is negative 10 over 6, which is negative 5 over 3. Okay, part E. Determine at what time the heights of the two candles was the same. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on Desmos and type it in. Doesn't seem that we can't use tech, but it looks like they meet at 5. I'm just going to guess it's 5. Because, yeah, we're using our graph. So T equals 5, which means 8 p.m., right? 5 hours after 3 p.m. Okay, so guys, hope that was understandable. I will post this, and hope you have a good day. And I am thinking I'm going to be back on Monday, guys. So I will see you then. Looking forward to seeing your parents tomorrow night. And yeah, sorry I will miss a lot of you on the mentoring trip, but I just need to rest a little bit longer before I come back. All right, have a good one, guys. See you soon.